Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, how are we getting on? Welcome to a brand new Fallout 76 video. So, barring catastrophes like meteor strikes or solar storms and the like, tomorrow should be update day and the Ghoul should be arriving in Fallout 76. So this is a pretty darn huge update if the PTS updates are anything to go by, and there are going to be a number of factors that will hit every single player, and that includes people who do not wish to become ghouls. So, with that in mind, plan today is to take a little look at least some of the changes that will hit everybody in a kind of high-level sort of a way. So this is stuff that you will need to know about and will need to check up on when the update goes live tomorrow, just to make sure that your build, whatever it is going to continue to work in the way that you want it to, as, yeah, there will be some big changes going forward. So, first up, today and tomorrow morning are the last parts of Season 19. Obviously, with the patch comes Season 20, so when the changeover happens, you will lose any opportunity to pick up things from Season 19. So, basically, make sure you have gone back and claimed any rewards from the current season if you want to get them prior to the update, otherwise you will miss your chance. So, this is true every time, always worth reminding though, because it's easily forgotten. So yeah, grab the chance while you can, basically, and get ready for the Ghoul Within? No, that might be the regular update. There's two different Ghoul names relating to the season and the update as a whole, and I can't keep them straight. Anyway, the new season, Season 20, will start alongside the update. So yeah, be ready for that. That's first thing. So the second thing we're going to talk about is there are a couple of changes to legendaries, legendary gear, legendary effects that will be included in here. And we should be going into more detail on this in the patch notes video tomorrow, which will likely be quite a hefty one, just to warn you. But yeah, you should be able to get a decent look at that, and hopefully we'll go through all the major beats with that. Preferably during maintenance time and while the servers are down, but we'll see how long that takes and how long the video takes to make, I guess, won't we? But yeah, brace yourself for that one, so yeah, you know when the notification bell is if you want to catch that one. So, legendaries. Two of these are getting changed from what I can tell from the patch notes. That is Arms Keepers and the Furious legendary effect. So if you happen to be using either of these, then you will want to be aware of this going forward. So Arms Keepers is only getting a small change. It reduces weapon weight, in short, and is quite helpful in that regard. The change that's coming on that one is that it will no longer apply to grenades. Everything else more or less staying the same on that point. I believe the perk is changing though. I've got a list of perks to look at in a minute. But as regards the actual legendary effect, it will just no longer affect grenades. So the other one, Furious, this is a really big change. In short, it is no longer going to be called Furious, it'll be called Onslaught, possibly. It's still listed on the PTS patch notes as being a work in progress name that they're going to change. On the other hand, I haven't seen any signs of that being changed right up to today, so maybe they're sticking with it, I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess. Either way, Furious will become this new effect, currently called Onslaught. Basically, it's going to change how it works as well. It's going to stay similar, but a little different. You will earn stacks of Onslaught with each hit on an enemy, and you can get different perks which boost the amount of Onslaught you can gain and how fast you can gain it, things like that. And it'll go up to, I think, about 81% damage increase, so long as you maintain fire on a single enemy. If you change to another enemy, it resets to 0, and I believe after about 10 seconds or so, it'll reset to 0 anyway. Which might not sound like very long, but in terms of combat in the game, 10 seconds is quite a long time for most fights. Not so much for big boss stuff, obviously, but for most other fights, yeah. So yeah, that's basically what's going to be changing on the legendary side. The really big thing that everybody needs to know about that's changing, of course, is we have another massive round of perk card changes. So there will be new legendary ones for ghouls, new regular perks for ghouls, so we'll look at that separately. But for every player, something will change, because the breadth of these changes is pretty substantial. Some of them are little changes, some of them are bigger ones. We'll go into more detail in tomorrow's video, but I'm going to give you a list of the ones that are changing so that you can, well, take a screenshot, because I'll throw them up in just a second, and basically be aware, and then you can go through one by one with your own build and change what needs to be changed, because this is an extensive list, and I don't want to go through everything right now because it's also spread out over the patch notes for the PTS. When we get the actual patch notes for the update tomorrow, they'll be condensed and finalised rather than the current version, which has a number of work in progress stuff on it. So, here's the list. I'll throw that up on screen so you can see everything. Do take a minute to screenshot it if you want to, and then it should make it a bit easier for you to kind of have it to refer to when you need to adjust your build. The changes are going to affect a very long list of perks, and we're looking at something like, I'm going to just stab a guess here and say about 30 or so of them, just looking at the list in front of me. And we have Almskeeper, Awareness, Barbarian, Bodyguards, Cap Collector, Can Do, Concentrated Fire, Crack Shot, Demolition Expert, Field Surgeon, Gun Fu, Good with Salt, Gorilla, Gorilla Expert and Gorilla Master, Gun Runner, Gunslinger, Gunslinger Expert and Gunslinger Master, and that has 2 changes listed currently on the PTS patch notes, although it'll be condensed down tomorrow. Inspirational is changing. Ironclad. Leadbelly will be changing. Modern Renegade will also be changing. Mr. Sandman. Pack Rat. Packing Light. Farmer, Portable Power. Rad Resistant. Rejuvenated. Scrounger. Spiritual Healer. Strongback. Tank Killer. Tenderizer. Travelling Pharmacy. And Wrecking Ball. Now, this is a whole range of changes. Some will appear to be nerfs, some will affect a wider range of weapons and armor and effects and things. Some will be streamlined a bit. For example, I know Demolition Expert is going to be reduced to a 3-rank perk instead of its current status as a 5-rank perk. So that'll free up some points in the intelligence tree, for example. And there'll be a number of changes like that. Things will also be moving from one category to another. So there's some perks that are leaving intelligence and going into strength that I can think of off the top of my head. Wrecking Ball, I believe, is doing that. Incidentally, I've mentioned this a fair few times, but Wrecking Ball is going to be great if you are a camp builder. Currently, we have the flamethrower trap glitch that we can use to break elements of our camp in order to somewhat bypass the collision on various items. Allow us to push things closer together, merge things, stuff like that. You'll be able to do it with the Wrecking Ball perk instead of using the flamethrower trap, and you'll just be able to hit things with your own weapon, be that shooting or hitting, as appropriate, if you happen to have the Wrecking Ball perk on. So that's going to be a really nice change for camp builders. But yeah, there's loads of these, as you can see, and lots of changes to be aware of. So yeah, I'll throw the slot back on the screen again in case you missed the opportunity first time round to screenshot. But yeah, you can make sure you have that list available and go through it all one by one, because you will get a big range of changes on that. So I'm going to stop this one here and keep this short and sweet, just so you know what's absolutely going to affect everybody to some degree or other. Tomorrow, as I say, we'll go through the patch notes in a much larger video and in much more detail, so yeah, strap in for that one. But this is going to be a big update. And as I say, this stuff will hit you to some degree or other, even if you're not becoming a ghoul, because they're rebalancing a lot of stuff. For example, pistols are getting a substantial buff across the board. All of them, as far as I'm aware, are getting at least some kind of a buff, so they may not be boss killer weapons going forward, but with any luck, they might be general running about and popping the occasional Blood Eagle or Scorched as you're running around. They'll probably be viable for that if you want to have a separate build to, you know, have a little variety in your gameplay. Then pistols might, it would seem, become at least reasonably viable for doing that with. So yeah, lots of cool changes coming. Very, very extensive, and hopefully we'll see how it affects the balance of the game going forward. And it is so extensive that forming an opinion is something that's going to take a little time, I think. But yeah, there we go. Hope you guys found that useful and informative. As I say, watch out for that patch notes video tomorrow. It'll be extensive, and subsequent videos going on regarding stuff about the Ghoul and what we're doing with that. And of course, camp builds and live streams and so on, that sort of thing will all be continuing as well. Got some Ghoul-related ideas, and yeah, definitely going to become a Ghoul myself, at least for a while. Give it a go. After 6 years, I'm ready to do something a little bit different, so it should be fun. But yeah, thank you all for watching. You know where the buttons are, likes and subs, and channel memberships down there if you want to support the channel that way. And of course, social media links in the description as well. I really appreciate. And yes, for now, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.